CalazCon is a show about war, obsession, colonialist occupation, and the many forms of violence those inflict. See the description for content warnings specific to this episode.
Welcome back to CalazCon. This episode is sponsored by Sabrina Alea Starling and Matt Mitchell. I'm Peace, and you can find me at Drucifer3939 on Twitter. Today, I am joined by Devin.
Hi, I'm Devin. You can find me on Twitter at DevinDecibel. Check out my music at devindecibel.bandcamp.com. The CalazCon theme song included there. You can also check out my games at devindecibel.itch.io.
I'm also joined by JPG.
Hi everyone, I'm JPG. I'm a pop culture educator and consultant. You can find all of my work on all of social media at SpeakerJPG.
Also joining us today is Marigold.
Hi, I'm Marigold, or Mary. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at BraveRun__. And you can find me find the games that I write at braverun.itch.io.
And last but certainly not least, we have Lauren.
Hello, I'm Lauren Peterson. You can find me on Twitter at DM_LSP and check out the games that I write at itch.io/DMLSP.
All right.
Got some gamers in the chat.
And with everybody introduced, let's get started. Welcome to Downtime, number 1 for the Blue Sky Endowment. We had a pretty exciting mission last time, I think. Mm-hmm. Things got pretty weird in the curse. That's what we love. And now it's time for us to find out what happens in between missions. Just as a reminder, and I guess a first time thing for our listeners, our group's, forward operating base is basically in the curse. We are at the Hestial Preparatory Academy's campus. Last time, we had a brief entanglement where your trophy room was requisitioned by Terminal Company, I believe. And
Terminal Companies wanted to take our trophy room because they think we're a bunch of fakes and they deserve the rewards.
Exactly. But you didn't give it to them. So
yeah, fuck them.
Yeah.
So what were the consequences of that?
I'm about to record them on the sheet, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, when you refuse a requisition, you are going to lose 1 status with them and with your parent faction. So that's cool.
Good thing for the consulate squad to be at -1 with their parent faction.
So fortunately, you're at Trust 0 right now anyway, so I don't have to do anything more complicated than typing a -1 in your relationship with your faction. And also going to just go ahead and lower your Terminal Companies to the front line, right? So that puts you at a -2 with TC. Cool. Very nice. Love it. with all of that out of the way, who wants to take their first downtime action? Just as also a note for anyone listening, it is, for those of you familiar with the Beam Saber rules, yes, it is possible to pay off the people that come for your requisition instead of, just telling them to go pound sand. We couldn't afford it. We didn't have enough money. You have to give them personnel equal to your tier plus 3. That would have been 4 personnel. We've got 2. So, big shrug emoji. Yeah, take it away, whoever is feeling excitable. Also, all of you should be able to move your own tokens here. We've got this very nice playmat provided as part of the Cool Robot asset pack, which I cannot recommend highly enough if you are playing Beam Saber on Roll20 or another remote desktop, remote tabletop. It's a fantastic product. I've been using it since long before I started this podcast.
Speaking of undermining our parent faction, I have a downtime action.
Promising start. Tell me about your project, Gossamer.
I'm going to make an app.
Okay. What kind of app are you making?
So I'm playing a hacker in this game.
Sure.
I know very little about computers in real life. So
Hey,
I'm just kind of going off of vibes.
Me too.
But the app that I want to make, I want to be able to have a little, this is hard to describe, a proxy within the certified DFS softwares where I can send and receive messages as if I was officially DFS without that need for clearance and stuff. I imagine as a ex-con person who was a terrorist that acted against the DFS, that I wouldn't have a lot of high
level clearance.
High level clearance, yeah. I want to be able to send and receive fake messages as a high level DFS person.
Yeah, got it. You want to create a fake identity that you can use to send and receive messages within internal DFS communications. Is that a good okay?
Yes.
Sure. We love that for you. I'm going to say that seems to me like a 6-step clock. I think that's fair, right? Feel free to
sure
tell me why you think it's not. If you
six
you
works
feel
for
that
me.
way.
Okay, so I'm calling this app the Phasmid app. A phasmid is a stick bug because stick bugs have camouflage.
Yeah, no, I got it. That makes sense. That's a cute
and I'm
name.
bug themed.
What action are you taking to begin creating this app?
Well, on my data pack move, it says you can study an app or create a new one. Study with a capital S, so I'm assuming it's study. Either study or interface, but both of those are the same for me.
Yeah, okay. Whatever you want to call it, that's fine with me.
This is Adrian in the computer lab at the college campus in the middle of the night. Sometimes security guards kind of tell them that they're not supposed to be in there, but they're listening to loud music on their headphones and they don't respond.
That sounds more like interface to me than study.
Okay.
Why don't we go ahead and test out the new macro to see if we can do a study roll. This is a fortune roll, so unless you're getting help from someone, which just as a reminder, during downtime, you can help other characters or other pilots, but it doesn't cost you stress during downtime to do so.
Does it cost anything?
It doesn't cost anything. It narratively puts you in the position of having helped this person.
Sure.
Yeah. But unless you get help, you are going to just be rolling your straight up and down interface.
Yep, sounds good to me.
I'm happy to help.
You're happy to help me start to develop an app to undermine the faction that we work for?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah. Actually, I'm looking at my belief now with you. Once again.
Yeah, quick reminder. Mary, what is your belief about Gossamer?
Adrian has views that align with ours. They can help us save others no matter where they come from.
Okay, and Devin, what is your belief about Winter's Pledge?
We are both disposable tools forcefully assimilated by the DFS.
Okay, I think this vibes. Yeah. Sure.
How do you help programming
describe
a sneaky app?
Exactly.
Well, hey, I don't know if you remember, but last session I helped you find a comma that was out of place.
Oh, that was irritating, though.
Yeah. but helpful. So I'm gonna do more of that. I'm reviewing your push requests.
Okay. It was the which your 6 bodies was it? I forget. That was.
Is it the robot?
It was my
Scrutinizing my code.
Yeah. It's body 5.
That was the NB one, right?
Yeah, the most NB presenting of all of them.
Sure.
Okay, so this is 3 dice. I'm gonna submit.
Okay.
5.
Okay. A 5, I believe, advances the clock by 2 segments.
That's correct.
Great. So you make some serious headway. There's still work to be done, but you did it. Two more downtimes like this, and the Phasmid will be ready.
Mm-hmm.
Hooray! All right, let's move on to someone else. I like to let everyone do one action, and then I go back and do another round, etc., etc. So
we have 2 supply and 2 personnel right now.
that is absolutely correct.
Okay, cool.
So Peeker or Winter or Pops.
I do have a thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna schmooze. I want to schmooze.
Schmooze. I believe schmoozing is basically sucking up to your faction. Is that right? Or with a faction.
To a faction. Yeah.
Okay. Are you picking yours or?
Oh no. The way I was reading it was it's on behalf of us, right? So
Sure.
To try to connect with another one. So those guys that wanted our trophy room, I actually have nothing against them. I just don't want the DFS to reward them.
So
it's honestly what it was.
Just a quick thing: schmooze is for a faction, not for a squad. So it's either the DFS, the Jovangelians, or the Exodus Republic. Those are your choices.
Well, dagnabbit. Okay.
But I mean, if you want to improve, if you want the way that you're improving DFS relations to be trying to mend, make amends with Terminal Company, that I think would be fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll do that. My plan here is to make them a trophy of their own and present it, and I don't know how to do that with since they are controlled by other players in this gigantic experimental podcast, but
well, again, we've already working with their support staff.
Done that.
You can give them all participation trophies.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think I want to. Obviously, I haven't been able to hear what they've done exactly, but something like a participation trophy, but more participating in whatever battle.
So, are you
they've already done
fabricating a physical thing, or
yeah?
Okay. What action would you say this is?
Well, I mean, I think the most important part here is the presentation of it.
Okay.
We're all about optics, baby.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So, I think that this is consort.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Go ahead and give me a 1d6.
Okay. It's a 2.
Okay. That, I believe, is going to increase your reputation with the DFS by 1. Well, you're 1/9 of the way back to being at 0. So we love that for you. Cool.
Yeah, maybe what I do is I throw a little bit of a party to celebrate them, and none of them show up.
Yeah.
But they hear about it.
Okay. Well, that was an exciting schmooze there. Who wants to go next? Lauren or JPG?
I got several ideas for what I think Calico is going to be doing this downtime. Cool. The first is training, though. So that's an easy one. We'll get that out of the way. I'm going to mark XP on my playbook.
Doing playbook training? Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Playbook training. And I think what this looks like is we've got Calico kind of more interested in the curse now. The way it kind of reshapes reality around it, there's AR space. I think Calico wants to use that to set up what I'm sort of thinking of this as like, what if you had like your own private room on like Second Life?
Mm-hmm.
But he still doesn't like understand a ton of stuff about how the curse works, and I think he's in there like messing around with it and trying to recreate a lot of the ways in which he can prompt the computer in his brain, and is experimenting with that and like basically using the AR to be able to more quickly perform like a lot of the tarot readings that he does, and then like able to sort of record and like re-look at these rituals that he's doing and seeing how they're interacting not only with like himself but like himself in the curse, and seeing how that's affecting it, because it is in a way very similar to what he like. It's a giant simulation, right? So he's using the simulation in his brain inside of another simulation to sort of enhance that.
Sure.
And I think like what he's able to do is take these sort of like mental screenshots of the visions he gets and then is like throwing them out into the curse and like walking through them.
Okay. That sounds cool.
And yeah, he's trying to get a better look here at a lot of the visions that he's getting, so he can sort of better analyze them.
Nice.
It's very strange, I think, and what I mean by like having like the private sort of room is there's definitely like him doing like rituals in here that would look very weird if he was just doing them out in like a public part of this place. They're like, there goes Calico again, walking around with a sensor full of smoke and throwing like cards into the air. But yeah, he's sort of refining his fortune-telling abilities.
Fantastic. So, correct me if I'm wrong, Train doesn't require any sort of die rolls.
Nope. You just mark 1 or 2 if you have the appropriate upgrade.
But your four-armed ability still triggers during downtime, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yes, whenever I roll dice.
And how many dice are currently in your prediction pool?
I suppose... Do those carry over from session to session?
They sure do, yeah.
All right. Then I have a 2.
So you've got 1 die left and it's a 2?
I have 1 die left and it's a 2.
Okay, cool. All right, fantastic. I believe that leaves us with Koa. What's Koa up to, JPG?
Well, Koa is a little bit embarrassed and stressed out from how the last episode ended, mostly because he's trying to be a good role model for the students of the school and his daughter. So I think he wants to blow off a little bit of steam and cut loose in order to get that stress down.
Yeah, absolutely.
You were like the hero that punched the bad guy at the end, though.
Yeah, but it's also... I think Koa feels specifically bad about it.
Koa feels like a don't do a hit kind of guy, right? Like...
It's more so that like, oh, okay, well, if I have to be here and if we have to look good and if I'm the one quote unquote in charge, I should be the one that looks the best, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense.
Makes sense to me.
Okay.
I put like the protagonist Fortnite skin on you. You punched the bad guy. How much better could I have made you look?
Well, I mean, I think it made me look super cool to the CalazCon nerds and all that, right? But then
right.
I think, there are probably kids around one of the first times they're seeing for real violence. I think I feel bad about it.
Yeah, no, I mean...
Hey, two men duking it out with their fists is better than huge robots blowing each other up, right?
Yeah, but nobody can tell Koa how to feel,
Yeah. Are you invalidating Koa's feelings?
Yeah,
right
exactly.
now?
Come on.
I think Adrian's just
So
giving
who
her
are
a
you
time.
cutting loose with? Because that is an activity that involves another pilot.
Marigold,
Just as
I'm so sorry.
Oh, what are you
No,
and
no.
Winter doing? How many of Winter's bodies are you cutting loose with?
Everyone.
Okay, nice.
Because in order to apologize to the Hestial Prep Academy, I was thinking that that Winter could help me take some of the kids to the zoo.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
This went in a completely unexpected direction. I love it. Fantastic.
Amazing.
So I believe for a downtime roll, for a cut loose, you're going to roll the number of ticks you have in your clock with Winter, which would be 1 for right now, right? Okay, cool. Roll 1d6 and hope to God you don't get a 5 or a 6.
Now, to clarify, is this an action roll, a fortune roll, or a resist roll?
This is a fortune roll.
Okay, so...
and Marigold, you don't need to drop into cut loose there. This doesn't count as one of your downtime actions. This is for me to keep track of how many downtime...
But it can,
You can,
right?
but wait until you actually cut loose, because this is for me to keep track of who's done what action and like how many actions are left for each person.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Oh, all I was thinking was like I can also use this as my cut loose, right?
Rules as written, no. Cut looses are unilateral.
Oh, really?
They are one direction. So Koa is hanging out with you.
I didn't realize
but if
that.
you want to cut loose, you could flavor it as, you at the zoo with Koa is also you cutting loose, but you will need to frame a second scene at the zoo with Koa. Does that make sense?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's what I was wanting to do a cut loose anyway. So I was like, okay, great. Like here we go.
Marigold, would Winter be cool about like answering Koa's questions about like, hey, so how does your whole thing work?
I think we should roll first, and then that'll tell us how cool they will be, right?
So rolling now. Oh, I got a 5.
Well, we can still do.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Actually.
Oh wait, is it?
Yeah, because you only have 4 stress, so that means you overindulge. Go ahead and clear all of your stress.
Okay.
Frame us.
You've heard about Panic at the Disco. Now here's Overindulge at the zoo.
Then you're going to choose an overindulge complication from the list, and it can't be AWOL because we don't have that many episodes of this show. But all the other ones are on the table, and then I guess frame a scene where you and Winter have a interaction that causes you to overindulge in your... that relieves all of your stress, but... let's take it one step at a time. So, which overindulgence would you like to do?
So, choose one way to overindulge from the following: attract trouble, brag, AWOL, impropriety.
It's in the note.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yeah, that is cool, actually. Shout outs to Hadrian for making this sheet.
This is so nice. Okay, I think I'm going to be choosing attract trouble.
Rolling an additional engagement, huh? All right. That's from the same... it's the same as your entanglement roll from at the beginning of this downtime. Yes. So go ahead and roll another fortune roll with 3d6.
I got a 6.
That's
Is that
another
good or
requisition. So a different squad is going to demand something from you.
I'm so
It's
sorry.
fine.
Everyone.
I love doing these.
Why is everybody trying to take shit from the college? What's happening?
From the children?
From the adults that work with the children.
Oh.
Well, you're fucking picking fights day drunk at the zoo, man.
Okay,
Yeah,
first off,
let's start with
it's-
let's get a little bit of the scene between you and Winter. So you started by asking Winter like, "Hey, what's your whole deal?" Let's pick it up from there and see how this goes bad.
Ready, Marigold?
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, do you want to like set like the scene a little bit? I was like going to launch into that, and then I was like, wait.
Which round do you think would be the round that like is speaking to Koa right now?
Probably body 6.
Body 6? Okay. And I think bodies 1 through 5 we've strategically positioned around the zoo so we could keep an eye on them at all times.
Yes, exactly. That's what I was kind of picturing as well. Yeah.
I love
And
that.
I think he awkwardly brings up, so is it like 6 screens in your head at one time? Or is it just one point of view but 6 times? How does that work?
That's a really interesting question, actually. So I've described it before, like how you can feel each one of your fingers independently, but they aren't conflicting with each other. One can overpower the other if the sensation is stronger, but generally all your sensations kind of flow into one. So that is how my perceptions work. It's not just visual, you understand. It's all of our thoughts and feelings and tastes and smells. All the senses that we have flow into one another. And that is what makes us us.
And I think at that, Koa stays a little bit quiet. And I think the next thing, Winter might take this the wrong way, but Koa is very, not innocent, just more like oblivious. And he asks, do all of your hugs feel the same? But I think Winter takes that as something more, if that makes sense.
Okay. So you're saying that you may have put a little more suggestiveness into it than you meant to?
I don't think Koa was aiming for it, but I think it happened.
Right, that's what I mean, yeah. You phrase, okay. Body Six still laughs. You know, each body experiences things differently. That's what makes this whole thing so beautiful for us, is each time one of us interacts in any way, hugs or otherwise, we all experience what that body experiences, and each body feels things differently.
And I would say that Koa puts a hand on Body Six's shoulder and says, that sounds really nice. It sounds like a really great way to never feel lonely.
Yeah. We are never truly alone. We are singular and we are plural. There is many of us, but we are of one mind. But we have many perspectives. I'm glad you're able to see it that way. Some people find my existence a little bit disquieting.
This is a beautiful conversation, and I want you to tell me how, over the course of this, you accidentally interact with and grievously insult the CalazClash squad from the Exodus Republic, leading to them demanding that you give them your insight training facility as recompense for your grievous insult.
Well, a piece, correct me if I'm wrong, like the zoo is probably like a very public place.
Yeah, I would imagine there are people from all of the squads, potentially at the zoo.
Would we be attracting unwanted attention because of how we ended the last episode?
Yeah, probably.
Well, because I was thinking it was very public that I got out of the tactician slate and just like and just beat the hell out of a dude, right? So would that somehow make us, I guess, like hated because we took a lot of the spotlight away from, like, quote unquote, like other more important squads?
Sure.
I mean, that's literally our whole thing, though.
I know it's our whole thing, but I think it still wouldn't stop some squads from resenting us.
Sure. But I mean, what, because this is a consequence
really
of,
okay,
what specific actions do you take to upset at least one member of the CalazClash squad?
What is that faction? What is that squad?
They are a corporatocracy squad. I will read the description to you. What started as an animation project by creators Artemis Mayflower and Lim Forte has blossomed into the Calazar fandom's premiere Avi fighting spectacle, boasting a roster of skilled pilots, authentically recreated Avis, and Calaz lore historians to keep perfect show-to-life accuracy. CalazClash hopes to make the fourth iteration of the Clash at the Con the stuff of legends, not to mention justify their obscene amount of funding they get from the studio. Their goal is to recover the stolen Hope of Calazar unit in time for the main event three-way fight with Goliath and Horizon Blue.
And for some reason, they want our library.
You know, maybe something that Koa says implies to them that you have, like, valuable and rare Calazar lore in your library.
Yeah, just talking about how extensive and fulfilling the library is, and how we think, like, it holds more secrets, and they are trying to find.
Maybe you, like, loudly mention how, like, you know, Edrian was able to find the scenario that he swapped the curse over to by using your library? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I would love that.
I think I got all of my lore off the message boards.
Sure, but maybe Koa doesn't know that.
Koa, I don't. Yeah, does Koa not understand computers?
I think Koa doesn't understand computers. I think that's actually been established already in the fiction. All right, I think that's good enough. So now we have to find out what. I assume that you guys are not going to just give them your insight training facility. Yeah, okay.
I 100% will say no.
Okay.
I love that we're a consulate squad, but all we do is make haters.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, sick. Hide the object or fight back. Lose one status with that squad and their faction. Okay, well, you're at -2 with the ERI, and you're at -1 status with CalazCon, and they think that you are selfish. That's their negative opinion of you. Oh, I gotta give 2 negative opinions for the front line. I haven't done that yet.
Oh no.
Pizza has a positive opinion of you, so they think that you are useful, right? Because or like distracting. What's the like?
Yes.
They like that you guys bring the heat off of them.
Yeah.
So we'll call they think you're useful. The front line thinks you are pretentious and out of touch. Or but maybe actually let's change out of touch to useless. That'll be like a good parallel with how Pizza feels about you, right? Okay. Great.
Yeah.
You know, I'm okay with the squads hating us just as long as the audience loves us.
You know, that's the Blue Sky Endowment mission right there. JPG, you need to write a new belief about Winter's Pledge based on the interaction that the two of you had during this downtime.
Now, this doesn't replace the other.
No, this goes on your. So you got 3 lines there on each of your belief clocks. Mm-hmm. So this is going to go on the second one.
Okay.
You can take a few moments to work that out, and when we get back around to your next downtime turn here, we will find out what that was. Marigold, did you want to just go ahead and frame your downtime scene? If you wanted to do it at the zoo with Pops, that's totally fine.
Yeah, actually, I think I changed my mind. I realized I only have 2 stress right now, and the chance of me over-rolling is really high.
It's very high, yeah, absolutely.
Figure out something else to do.
Okay, cool. Does anyone else have a downtime action that they are ready to do? Is anyone else really stressed, or was it just Koa? Oh, geez, Edrian.
So, about that, I don't want to deal with that.
You don't want to deal with that?
No.
You want to go into next mission with 6 stress?
Sure.
Cool.
Because then I can get a scar and then have another experience.
Yeah,
trigger.
well, I see. Somebody's a power gamer over here. I should have known that our hacker.
Hey, we only have 5 missions.
That's true.
Might as well fucking...
You know what? This is just, you guys have a different, I understand that this is like kind of the way the game is actually intended to be played. I just have a different approach to stress and scars than most of the players in my home games have had historically.
Sure.
Well, here's the thing. You can accommodate 4 scars before you die or whatever, and we have 5 missions.
So the chances
as long as I don't just get 1 scar per mission,
you
I'm good.
basically are
We've already
safe.
done one of them.
But I do want to point out, it would be possible for you to wrap around and get 2 scars potentially in 1 mission. That's not impossible. Because you only get removed for a scene, and then you can come back, right?
Well, then we'll burn that bridge when we get there.
Okay. Great. All right, well, this brings me back to my original question of, does anyone have a thing they actually do want to do during downtime here next? Anyone can answer, except for Koa, because he just went.
Yeah, I've got what Calico is doing next.
Hit me.
I'm going to start a long-term project to work on my drive clock.
Okay. Remind me what your drive is?
My drive is to find the other, the missing biological computer. My drive is that we know someone out there who's here at CalazCon has one of ours. And it means they either stole it somehow, or they're a missing member of my faction. But I think we decided it was more interesting to have someone who had stolen it. And I need to get it back, because that's not something anyone but my people are allowed to have.
Okay. What are you doing to advance this project?
So I am kind of leaning on one of my contacts here, Delphi, which is a powerful algorithm, which I believe we talked about during character creation. Delphi is the one thing that is like weirdly constant within our mental simulations. Every one of our people who has this ability, Delphi appears.
Remind me what you call these computers in your culture.
I don't know that the computers themselves had a name, because
but you have a name for the category of thing, right? Or like the gods or whatever that you regard
the
them
gates.
as.
I believe it was the gates. The gates are more like the greater arcana of our tarot. I think what we are called, what Calico was called, his role was a gate speaker. And that is what I'm looking for. Someone else who has the ability of the gate speakers.
Right, but this person wouldn't be a gate speaker because they're not from your culture, right? They just have a stolen gate.
They have a stolen. They have a stolen. Yes, they have a stolen ability.
So that's what I'm going to call the clock. That's the only reason I'm asking.
Yeah,
I'm going to make this a 4-step clock because I think this is more interesting if it finishes sooner.
So I think what I'm doing here is I'm consulting Delphi, which Delphi is this algorithm that is present in all of the gate speaker computers.
Sure.
And is very weirdly, how do I put this? Like, conscious of its other selves in the other simulations. Like, it is the only thing, I guess, that is a constant. It is very much based off of Ra from the Lancer system, which is where, like, a computer simulated a god, and therefore the god was real.
Oh, sure. I don't actually know anything about Lancer, but I believe
that's basically what Delphi is their computers simulated a app, or a proxy, I guess you would call it, and that exists within sort of all of them. Delphi is a powerful algorithm, so I'm consulting Delphi about what the other gate speaker computer is like being used for, where it might be out there, just running these simulations over and over and over again in the way that we do. But I think it's a little more intense than what he's used to, because he's used to doing, like, you know, basically tarot readings and stuff like that. And this is like actively working that computer in his brain up, and I think it's very taxing. So I believe this is a survey. When you attempting to predict outcomes.
Sure.
So
now, how many dice do you get for that?
So I'm only going to get 1 because I have to use the 2.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I was going to bring up here. So it's a 2 dice pool, but you're going to be rolling it as a 1, and then adding a 2, and then I believe that'll immediately trigger you rolling to refresh your pool.
Wow.
Okay, so you got 2 2s on that roll, right?
Yep, 2 2s.
Which means that your clock advances by 1. I think Delphi tells you that they have been cut off from this stolen gate, which itself, I think, is information that you can maybe use later on.
It's the absence of information is definitely still information.
Exactly.
So I think if that's the case, then so this has been Calico like running all these simulations, and next time Calico is going to be like, okay, I need to start running stuff that's going to let me look at like what's around the blanks.
Yes, perfect.
But it's very much Calico just like pushing themselves, muttering a lot of like half-formed prophecies, writing them down, flipping over cards and taking a look and being like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think if anyone were to like walk in on this, they'd be like, oh, okay, that's disturbing.
That's upsetting.
In a way. It's very upsetting if somebody sees it.
Absolutely.
So now I have to roll survey.
You already rolled survey. You got the 2.
But I have to refill my
yes.
clock.
Sorry.
So I'm going to put...
now, no one can help you refill your clock, I don't think.
No one can help me refill my prediction pool, so I'm just doing a 4-die fortune roll,
We got a 4, a 5, a 6, and a 4.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, baby. That's much better than it was last time.
Those will come in handy.
Winter, Adrian, or Koa, who has another downtime action they'd like to take?
I have one.
Yeah.
I now realize that I have ruined some relationships with not one but 2 different squads and factions. Would Schmooze help me try and smooth that over?
That's exactly what Schmooze does.
Okay.
Schmooze will improve a relationship with the faction itself, but not with the individual squads, even if it goes really well.
Now, please remind me, the 2 factions that we are currently negative with.
Yeah, that would be your own faction, the DFS, as well as the so you're at a -1 with the DFS with 1 trust, and you are at a -2 with the Exodus Republic, which is the CalazCon itself. As part of that, you have a -1 with the Bastards and a -1 with Callaz Clash.
Do I want to improve it with the DFS, which Adrian is actively pursuing to sabotage them?
But I think you don't know that, right?
Yeah.
No.
Which honestly,
I mean, Winters does.
Yeah, Winter does, but I don't think that you guys have told your officer that you're undermining the group you work for.
I mean, it does give me plausible deniability, and it also helps get the heat off Adrian, because if I'm trying to do nice things and I represent our squad, it puts us under less suspicion, right?
Also, would it upset Koa to know that you'd worked so hard to get a plea deal for me, and I'm handling that poorly?
I think it's more so that we both feel the same sort of we shouldn't be here, but I think you are taking your destiny into your own hands while I'm trying to make the best of a situation.
Gotcha.
Sure. So what are you doing to improve relations with the DFS then?
I'm assuming that a lot of the DFS's children go to the Hestial Preparatory Academy, correct?
Yeah, I think that's what we established in session 0.
Could I somehow volunteer with the school or something like that in order to quote unquote do a tutoring session for the kids, but it's really just glorified babysitting?
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Which action would that be?
Well, I would think it is... I mean, would you give me command? Because...
I was going to say, if you're trying to wrangle some kids, I think, it could be command.
I'll
if
take
it goes
command.
badly, then I think that there's a clear way that sort of shakes out.
Oh,
no. So go ahead and give me a command roll through the fortune roll on the macro.
I got a 6.
It goes really well.
Oh.
You tutor the heck out of those kids. What topic were you tutoring them on?
I think I was tutoring them on Urban Tactical Strategy 101.
Okay, that's terrifying. Love it. That is,
but I give them little Nerf guns and stuff in order to in order to go around the school.
Oh, you're playing a humans versus zombies game or something?
Yes.
Okay. Great. That gives you 3 additional trust with the DFS. You only need 5 more trust to get back up to breaking even. So if 2 more of you schmooze and get a 5 and a 6, then also, have you thought of a new belief yet for Winter's Pledge?
I did, and I hope that this works.
Go ahead and debut that for it.
Winter is experiencing life in an interesting way. I want to see this as well.
Cool.
Or I want a peek of it as well.
Ooh.
I think the way Beam Saber beliefs are, the way they work, where you have the ability to test them, I would just do the first half of that.
Winter is experiencing life in an interesting way.
Yes, exactly. Because then if you decide to test that belief, you ask Winter, hey, are you experiencing life in an interesting way? Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. That makes it even simpler.
Yeah. Because you want ideally you want your beliefs to be something that if you test it, the other person can answer you yes, no, or kind of, right?
Okay.
And that's what makes them different than beliefs in, say, like Dungeon World or whatever. Okay. Winter or Edrian?
I got one.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to work on my long-term project more.
You can only work on... you can start a different long-term project. You can only work on a given long-term project once per downtime. Otherwise, it wouldn't be long-term because you could just blow all 3 of your tokens on it and finish it in one downtime. Then it would just be a project.
Because you can do that in Blades in the Dark.
You can do that in Blades in the Dark, but we are not playing Blades in the Dark. We are playing Beam Saber.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Then come back to me.
You guys are poor. If somebody wants to collect, that might not be the worst thing in the world.
I don't know why, but that hurt my feelings a little bit.
I'm sorry. wasn't meant to be
calling us poor,
a dig or anything. Y'all. I mean, I guess you're not poor, but you're not rich enough to stop people from asking for your stuff. I guess is the way I would put it.
Yeah, we gotta stop getting people to
Right.
bully us into paying them stuff.
Right.
It's very funny.
If you did collect, it would be from the Curse region, because that's where y'all are at. Curse has Wealth 1, Might 2, Crime 1, and Tech 3, so maybe it wouldn't be the best place to collect from. I don't know. That's up to, Just a thought.
Interesting.
Yeah, sorry, Adrian. I wish that you could work on this same part, but it's like...
It just kind of unfortunately makes like long-term projects a little bit nerfed in this format because we only have like 4 downtimes.
You can always spend 1 personnel to crank up your results, and like I said, as long as you can get someone else to work on your long-term project, but they would have to spend a whole downtime action on it. I'm going to double check the book. I want to make sure I'm not lying to you.
I'm also.
Let me pull open Beam Saber version 1.1 here.
Because like the ability I have, I need to do long-term projects to make my apps. Mm-hmm. And if it's going to take me the entire game to get 1 app, then that ability kind of doesn't work.
Maybe this is maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is in an older version and it's not currently in the game. So yeah, sure. I'll let you go ahead and work on that same long-term project again.
Great.
What are you doing this time? I guess that it does have to be like a different action each time, I guess.
Absolutely. I want to go talk to Zine, my contact, who's a secretive AI.
Okay.
I think this is a fucking like punk ass like anarchy AI. But, I'm being monitored by the DFS, by my other contact, Gather, the Curious Proxy, who is the CalazCon superfan that even in death has become a proxy so that they can keep enjoying CalazCon content, but also is now working as a secret agent for the DFS to monitor me.
Hell yeah.
I described them as the like digital crow that was like following me around in the last session. So I think what my role here is actually not working on the project, but getting myself to a position where I can work on the project without being monitored.
Okay.
So what I think this is I'm going to go to like an internet cafe instead of the, official like computer lab at the university. So I can go talk to this anarchy AI. And I do some like weird ass shit where I'm like walking down the street and then like I walk around a corner and then I start walking around the same block like multiple times. And I'm trying to like set off all of the like security devices that are observing me to get confused. And I think what I do is I like interface somehow like a loop where I just like keep walking around this same corner. So then I can like sneak into this internet cafe without being monitored.
Okay. What is this action that you would like to roll?
I was aiming for interface again.
Okay.
Because I'm like messing with computers.
Give it to me.
6, hell yeah. Though I still want to lean into the irony of I think Adrian doesn't know that Zine is not a real person or that Gather is.
Right, because you've only ever talked on...
Yeah, and also the hacker has a move called Turing Test. You can always tell if the person you're interacting with is a human, and I feel like it would be fun to never take that move.
Oh, you don't have that ability.
And I'm saying it would be funny if I don't ever take it.
Right.
So I just know this person as like somebody online who likes fucking with the powers that be. And I feel like they would be really interested in my new project where we can... send fake.
And you don't know that this person is secretly the person monitoring you and reporting back to the DFS,
No, this
right?
is a different person. This is Zine.
Okay,
Both of my contacts are not humans. One is a proxy, one is an AI. And this is the AI that I'm friends with.
All right.
I don't know that they're an AI. I just think they're like another cool like counterculture hacker person.
You make a lot of progress. The Phasmid is almost finished.
Yeah. So I get some advice from this AI, and they are also really interested in it because if they also had access to this technology, they could also do a lot of internal damage to the DFS by sending and receiving fake messages.
Totes.
And that's it.
All right. Winter, one more from you?
Yeah. I'm going to train.
Which are you training Playbook or one of your other tracks? Just as a reminder, if you train Insight, you get 2 points, and if you train anything else, you get 1 point.
Yes. I am training Resolve.
Okay. Resolve training. Tell me how you train your Resolve.
Yeah, so I spend more time at the zoo just talking with folks, trying to I think this is happening maybe... Oh, I guess we didn't have a big confrontation, right? They just ended up overhearing us and then demanding things of us. We didn't actually get into
I think that there was a formal written demand made, and Koa just was like,
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna change that up a little bit then. I think I'm just going around the curse where all these live action simulation things are happening, and just trying to strike up conversations with people to improve that just interpersonal connection with people outside of myself.
Sure. Okay.
How's the game?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it has to be more complicated than that because he's, you have
sure.
to roll for training. So go ahead and just mark one in your Resolve
Spiffy.
track there.
Thanks for listening to CalazCon. This episode was edited and sound balanced by Christine Blight. You can reach her for voice acting at CVBlight@gmail.com. The show's music is by Devin Nelson. You can find them on all social media at Devin Decibel. If you'd like to support CalazCon, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/CalazCon. Please tell your friends about the show too. Remember, All glory to Calazar.